I'm Pastor Aaron Harris, and this video is about the best financial strategy for you based upon your income. In this video, we're going to learn about the best strategy for you, whether you make $40,000 a year, around $75,000 a year, or over $100,000 per year. So if you watch until the end, you'll know which investment strategy is best for you today and what will be the best investment strategy for you in your near future. Let's kick it off by talking about the best financial strategy for people making around $40,000 a year. So if you're making anywhere from 20, 30, 40,000 a year, 50 upwards closer to $60,000 per year, then this strategy is best for you. And if you know someone making around this much money, then this is some investment tips that you can give to them. When you're making around $40,000 a year, the biggest problem that you have is an income problem. You're really not making enough for you to be able to save and invest an adequate amount of money for you to be able to live out the financial future that you envision for yourself. Yes, we have stories about janitors that work 2 jobs for 40 and 50 years and they retired multi-millionaires. And yes, you could become a millionaire off making $40,000 a year if you invest and if you save and if you spend wisely, but it's a lot more challenging to become a millionaire when you are only making a limited amount of income. So the first thing we have to look at is how can you increase what you are receiving. The first thing you have to look at is how can you increase your salary. Yeah, you can get a side job or you could get another job or you can work extra overtime and that'll automatically put you over what you're making right now, but it'll also come with the results of you being tired and exhausted. And so one of my number one recommendations for people stuck in a salary around 40, 30, 40, $50,000 a year is to increase the skills that you have. And you may not necessarily need a career change. Maybe you can increase the skills that you have in an area that you are already working in. So whether you're a school teacher or a janitor or you're a nurse or whatever field you're in, you're working at Walmart or a grocery store, wherever you are, there are people in your field doing similar things that you're doing that's getting paid a lot more money. What I think about is a tax attorney. You have some tax attorneys making about $40,000 a year, and you have some tax attorneys that's making $40,000 a month. And the only difference is the level of skills that they have. So as you increase your skills that you have, whether you're an office assistant or an administrator, when you increase your skills, then you increase the value that you have. You could do that through education or through training programs or hands-on learning, but you want to continue improving. Now, you don't get paid a lot of money when there are a lot of people out there that can easily learn what it is that you do and then do what it is that you do. When you increase your skills, you limit the amount of people that have the same skill set that you have, meaning that it's harder to replicate you and it will lead you to gaining a higher salary. And so if you're only making around $40,000 a year, then you really want to focus on increasing that income. Do whatever you can to make that higher so that you can get ahead for yourself. Next, let's look at the people making around $75,000 a year. So you fall into this category if you're making between $60,000 and $100,000 a year. Congratulations, you actually make a decent salary. Now in America, if you live in high high places that where rent is really high, like California or New York or something like that, then you might say $75,000 is not a lot of money at all. But generally speaking, when you make $75,000 a year, in most places you would be considered in that middle class area, depending on your family size and things such as that. But $75,000 a year is generally considered a good income. Not a great income, not an outstanding income, but a good income. When you have a good income, then you really have to focus on managing it. When you're making between $60,000 and $100,000 a year, that's probably one of the hardest salaries to be able to navigate throughout this world, because you're making enough money where you can afford nice things, but not enough money to where if you actually go out and purchase those things, then you will not be able to save and invest for your future. So you're in a weird place. You can afford things. You're usually not 100% completely broke, but you still can't go out and actually invest and save in your future like you would like to. The biggest thing that you can do to create financial wealth for yourself once you get to a place where it's very hard for you to start making more income is you have to make sure that you budget adequately. Most people get caught up in lifestyle inflation, meaning the more money you receive, the more money you spend. So now you have a job making a decent amount of money and you want to go get a new car, or you want to rent a better home or apartment, or now you want to go and purchase your first home. But really, when you're looking at it, the first thing you need to do is learn how to manage your money and not put yourself in a position to where all of your money is being spent. That means that if you're single, you may still want to get an apartment and actually share an apartment with someone and actually have a roommate so you save money on rent. This means you don't go out and buy that new expensive car. Maybe you go and get a used car, but however you set up your budget, you want to make sure that you're able to save at least $1,000 a month so that you can begin investing that money into your future. So for those making around $40,000, you have an income problem. For those making around $75,000, you have a budget problem. And for you who are making over $100,000 a year, congratulations, but now what you have is an investing problem where you have to figure out how to invest the additional income that you have. It's one thing to make good money. It's another thing to manage what you have effectively, to be able to grow your wealth exponentially so that you can become financially stable and even rich. The challenge with many people that make $100,000 a year is it took them a long time to get there. Usually people had to go to trade schools, or they went throughout school and they reached this $100,000 a year mark after they had delayed gaining money throughout their adult life. So now that you have this money, you have debt usually that you want to take care of, you have vacations you want to go on, and you want to spend your money because you have never really had money to spend like that in your adult life. But what you need to do is pump the brakes and make sure that you're looking at how are you investing your money each and every month. Are you investing in a home that you purchased to live in? Are you investing and looking at rental properties? Are you investing in the stock market? Are you making sure that your retirement is adequately funded so that you can retire when you want to retire? And so at this point, you have to make sure that you're not spending money on upgrading your home and upgrading your car and upgrading your clothes and upgrading all of these things while you're neglecting to adequately save money and invest. When you invest, then your money is able to start making money for you, and you get to benefit from compound interest where your money is able to grow exponentially. So you have to make sure that you diversify with what you're investing in, maybe in index funds or mutual funds, something that's not too risky to where you lose all that you have, but something that's not too low to where you don't make money at all. So if you're making over $100,000 a year, then it's essential that you really learn about money, you learn about investing tools, and you learn about investing options, because you can really be in a position to grow your money exponentially. So whether you make around $40,000 a year, $75,000 a year, or over $100,000 a year, then continue watching the videos on this channel, which is all about financial literacy, where you will learn how to budget better, where you will learn how to manage your money, you'll learn how to increase your income, and you will also learn how to go and invest wisely so that your money can make money for you.